I am Michelle McPherson, and this is The Michelle McPherson Show, the only internet marketing podcast dedicated to answering your burning business questions. Find us and submit your own questions at FromIdeaToEmpire.com. And now for today's episode. Pinterest Promoted Pins, which is the Pinterest pay-per-click product, are live on select Pinterest accounts who signed up for and were accepted into their beta program that I posted about in June. I received my acceptance into that Promoted Pins beta, and I put together a walkthrough for you so that you can see how it works. Pinterest Promoted Pins are actually some really big news because Pinterest order value is 3 times higher than the other social networks, and 70% of Pinterest users report that they go there to find inspiration on things to buy. So we're dealing with a social network where people are physically, literally looking for things that they can purchase, and with promoted pins, you can put your products in front of them. Pinterest can also drive an enormous amount of traffic, so the people who use the site to find inspiration on things to buy are actually clicking through to e-commerce sites in droves. On michellemcpherson.com, I've got a screenshot of the kinds of traffic that we are driving with our Pinterest accounts. So if you're selling something, it is the place to be. It's where it's at for e-commerce right now. And let's take a look at promoting our pins. The first step in the Pinterest Promoted Pins account setup is to pick a pin. Pinterest will show you the most recent pins that you've made, and then you can scroll through and find the right one. I chose a pin that had already gone viral on Pinterest. It already has 8,000 repins because I know that the Pinterest audience responded well to that particular image. So it makes sense to keep working with an image or to promote an image that has already been positively received by Pinterest. Then you get the chance to pick the keywords that you would like to target. People searching for those keywords will be shown your promoted pin. So when people type in on Pinterest a search term, if your pin is targeting that search term, they will see your promoted pin ad. You should already be familiar with the keywords that people are using to search for your topic, but Pinterest does give you some suggestions. If you run out of ideas, you can use the Google Keyword Planner. Like any kind of keyword-based targeting, you will need to strike the balance between targeting your ads narrowly enough that the people who see the ads are actually prospects for what you want to sell, and also between casting a wide enough net that you expose your offer to enough people. Next step is to choose the demographics of the audience that you want to target. Local businesses can target by the US state or region. This is the first time that Pinterest has had a truly meaningful way for local businesses to target on Pinterest, and I think that it will make Pinterest an actual contender for local businesses' marketing spend. The pin that I've chosen to promote is not regional in nature, so I will leave the location targeting blank. The language tab is pretty self-explanatory. Just select the language of the audience that you want to reach. The next tab is device, and it allows you to only show your promoted pin to web users, for example, instead of people on mobile devices. It'll differentiate between iPad, iPhone, Android users as well. So if you're an app seller, you can show your ad to only people using the kind of device that your app is made for. And then on the gender tab, you can choose male, female, or unknown. Next, you set your pay-per-click bid. It's interesting that you're bidding on a pay-per-click basis because you're not paying for views, repins, or likes on Pinterest. You're actually just paying for clicks through to your website. So I'm curious to see how or if that will change in the future, as we've seen Facebook and Twitter move more towards engagements and not just click-throughs on their advertising platforms. Now, I'm totally spitballing the bid amounts, but I put in 5 cents maximum cost per click and $5 daily budget. We haven't run ads on the platform before, so I have no idea how that will do, and we just threw some numbers in there to get it running. Next step is that you agree to the Pinterest Promoted Pins terms and conditions. You set up your billing credit card, and then they send you to the Promoted Pins dashboard. My pin is waiting for approval. Their help files indicate that it can take up to 7 days to get approved. I'm hoping that this is a case of under-promising and over-delivering, and that we will have approval much sooner than 7 days. In the meantime, you can add additional pins that you'd like to promote into the system so that they are also queued for approval. Once the promoted pin is approved, I'll write a second post and do a second podcast with info on the analytics that are offered, as well as what success we had with the platform. And then I'll link to it here in the show notes for this particular podcast episode. Now, a well-maintained Pinterest account can drive an enormous amount of traffic. There's a post at michelle.mcpherson.com titled Our 1,500 Visits Per Day Pinterest Traffic Strategy, and that will show you how we are driving traffic with Pinterest. If you have an e-commerce store, Pinterest is your next honeypot. Our team manages and grows Pinterest accounts at socialmediadaily.com from the ground up, and we will be offering a promoted pins service too, where we will manage this promoted pins advertising for you once this system is available to everyone. If you are not signed up for the promoted pins beta, now is the time to do that. And you can find the link for that at michelle.mcpherson.com in the show notes for this podcast, which is titled Pinterest Promoted Pins, a First Look. So you can find it there. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.